and welcome to There's a Beautiful Me. I'm Crystal Davis. This is an inspirational talk show geared towards encouraging and uplifting young women spiritually, mentally, and physically. Today's verse from Proverbs 31 that we will be opening with is verse 27, and it states, "She watches over the affairs of her household and does not eat the bread of idleness." In other words, with verse 27, it basically explains how the woman has full control over everything happening within her home and does not subject to being anything less of that. Not eating the bread of the idleness is broken down into two things. One, idle means to be sluggish or lazy, in other words, not working. So she is always on the go, working, moving, providing, and being a fine woman in handling the responsibilities of her household and her family. As stated before, the woman tends to rise early to start her day before the sun until late in the evening. She's the protector while her husband is away and works hard no matter what. At times, I feel like there is even not enough time in the day. Like I'll rise early, taking care of my task or handling work that needs to be done, but something tends to come up and I would have to take a break at that point to do something else. All of this is what a woman of virtue does in her walk. Even if you don't have a husband, you have a task and responsibility. Take action and continue to push through no matter what. In today's show, I have with me in the studio CEO and founder of Quality Wellness, Paul Queen. Just a little bit about Paul. He grew up as the son of pastors Paul and Brenda Queen. As a standout athlete, Mr. Queen is a two-time Texas State champion and was a multi-sport all-conference performer in high school, which led to an amazing college career and a Bachelor of Business Administration and Finance from Prairie View A&M University. Later, Paul was inspired and embraced with his calling to the ministry of health and wellness while serving as a manager of fitness and operations for 24 Hour Fitness. He is a certified fitness expert and performance enhancement specialist who serves as a wellness consultant for Houston Parks and Recreation Department. University at FM Law Park, St. John's United Methodist, downtown Houston, and TRE Media Group, among others, and is the founder and chairman of Quality Wellness. Combining knowledge from a successful business career with God-given talents and passion, Paul has created and coordinated several events and programs. He has worked with numerous nonprofits and youth organizations and is a proud husband and father. Mr. Queen uses Quality Wellness as yet another platform to spread the message of faith in fitness abroad. So, as you see, we have an outstanding, faithful, God-led man in the studio with us today. Okay, welcome back in the studio. I have Mr. Paul Queen, the CEO and founder of Quality Wellness. Thank you so much for joining me
thank
today.
you for having me. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. And, first before we get started, I just have to say that me and Paul met through a dear friend of ours in Zinga, who's also on Sunday Morning Inspiration on Magic 102.1, and we went to a Faith in Fitness event that he was having, and from my experience, you had like an open gym, we had the kids there,
Right.
it was a lot of games going on, and everybody was just so engaged and excited, so I was just like, we need to do something. It was like songs, dancing, we had prizes, kids had a great time.
Yeah,
so,
they did.
So we really did want to, expose this show because this is really good for the community. So I just really wanted to share this and just let you know, what Paul does. So first off, faith and fitness. Can you just go a little bit more in depth about what that is?
Faith and fitness. Faith and fitness started off faith and fitness.
Okay.
So there were two, which I took fitness, took my certifications, and what I do is I plug them into community issues. Okay. And so in plugging into community issues, childhood obesity, diabetes, at my church, we had cancer survivors. We also have HIV survivors. And so as far as in our research, in order to combat a health-related disease, it starts with your inner man, if you will, where it says that beloved, in 3 John, he says, beloved above all, I wish that your body and your health would prosper just as your soul prospers. So what that tells us is that it comes from the soul first. You have to start and understand your healing, and then it will be able to manifest. And so we changed faith and fitness, and it became faith in fitness. I myself went through I ruptured my patella playing basketball, and from the ruptured patella, I received a surgically induced protein deficiency in my blood. It caused me to clot up fast. And so in that clottage, I ended up with multiple blood clots on both lungs. And I was in the hospital for about 9 days. So, I mean, it was brutal. Lovenox shots every 6 hours, Coumadin orally every 12. And I had to rely on faith.
Yes.
He took from me, which an ex-athlete, the fitness coordinator throughout the city of Houston, and here I am with a health-related ailment. And so it took faith in order to get through it. And so I changed faith and fitness into, we changed to faith in fitness. So actually faith and fitness comes from real life experiences.
That's really good, because and it does take that, because I know I've been in situations myself where it's just like everything, all of a sudden just happens.
Yeah.
It's all his plan.
Yeah.
So just
Yeah.
looking at it and taking it and making it for good, because, it's a purpose, it's a will. And then I see, he planned this for you so
Right.
you could go on and share your testimony with others,
Oh, yeah.
which is great.
It's big. The faith portion, it's all Bible-based.
Right.
So the fitness components for faith and fitness are all Bible-based. And now, in dealing with school and dealing with kids, I had to kind of switch that up a little
Right.
bit. And I had to attach to science. And so that's kind of what people do. We can retain science. Cognitively, we can learn science.
Right.
But the spirit is a little bit deeper.
Right.
And so that hesitancy to be able to move forward when, like a cancer patient who hears about the amount of people who died, the percentage of people who passed, or the percentage of people who only lived a certain amount of time, it plays on your thought process.
Right.
And thought process is everything when it comes to fitness.
So would you say your inspiration for putting this all together was like personal, or I know it's a calling, but would you say personally it was,
Yeah.
something within?
Yeah, and faith and fitness is one division of Quality Wellness. We also do sports for achieving wellness. And so in bringing it all together, my whole lifestyle,
Right.
my family, Quality Wellness is an ode to my family and my people. I come from a impoverished mindset, small town boy, Port Arthur, Texas, and my people. Within the last year and a half, I've had 4 family members and a best friend who's passed away from health-related diseases.
Right.
And so then I have my cousins, and and they're all looking at me, like, hey man, you went to college, you did this.
Yeah.
How do we combat this? How can we combat death? And how do you do it is you change your eating habits.
Yes.
You change your exercise habits, because what's hereditary are chemical components of the body types and structures. But what you can change that shouldn't be hereditary are the same eating habits and the same exercise habits. And so understanding your ailment, understanding your disease, and then tailoring your nutrition and exercise to fortify your body will enable you to alleviate or
Right.
to elude that death thing.
So it's for the topics, because I know you said obesity, I know it's with children, adults, and then you also have the risk factors, like you said, with HIV and, the other things. Is there like anything specific, like is it kind of like a range that you focus on? Because I know diabetes is big, especially in the African American community.
Right.
But, what are some other like key illnesses, I guess, or
Yeah.
diseases that you focus on?
Well, the thing with obesity is that it sets you at a higher risk for all of these health-related diseases.
Right.
And so as opposed to going directly, and we do go direct at high blood pressure with specifics as far as nutrition, as far as exercise, understanding your body, but we want to go to the core. So obesity, especially a child and dealing with the youth, life expectancy has shortened. 75 and 85 is, society considers that good. It's like, but if you reference Bible, Genesis 6:3 says 120. And everyone who did something worth doing,
Right.
in the Bible, they were upwards of 100.
Right.
And doing
Right.
Moses climbing up a mountain at 100.
Exactly.
And so we have to live longer.
Mhm.
The gulf and the disparity between the youth and adults is because adults are dying. They're dying much earlier. In fact, if obesity rates were to continue the way they are now,
Mhm.
we would have the first generation where parents would outlive the kids. You know,
Oh, wow.
and
That's
it's
scary.
it's scary and it's
That is
proven.
really scary.
My grandfather and great aunts are the ones who are bearing my aunts and uncles who actually raised
Mhm.
me, and they're healthier, and it's all because of a thought process, a lifestyle before fast food, before
Right.
technology, back to the
Processing.
garden,
Mhm.
and cultivating and understanding nutrition from the earth. That understanding, in itself helps your healing, your process.
And it's good that you mentioned that because I'm actually reading a book now called The Maker's Diet,
Okay.
and it's biblical based, and it
Hmm.
talks about the key foods and the grains and
Right.
the whole, 100% whole wheat.
Right.
Everything was grown, and then the food they ate was
Hmm.
wild game.
Yeah.
And then, it's like we have chicken or beef, but everything's processed now or
Yes.
pasteurized,
Yes.
and it takes a lot of those nutrients out. So organic now is becoming a big deal. I know
Right.
myself, I really switched my
Right.
whole
Right.
my
Yeah.
whole eating
Yeah.
habit,
Yeah.
as you can say. It's like my family talks about me. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you have all this," and my
Yeah.
brother and my sisters. But I try and explain to them, we need to take on this because a
Oh,
lot of
definitely.
stuff now in the stores on the aisles,
We got to
you
go
look
back.
at
We
it.
got to go back to Eden. He, when initiated the garden, it was raw fruit. We were
Right.
walking out in the garden, picking fruit and eating.
Yes.
And so now, even if you're organic, we cook. We deplete nutrients out of the food by cooking, and then we saturate with oils for taste. And so we ourselves, and our thought process towards it, we get away from what he intended. He intended it to nourish the body, and that's it.
Right.
So as far as taste, so no matter what the Brussels sprouts taste like, he says that to everything that has breath, I've given you every green leafy thing
Yes.
for food. So green leafy food spiritually correlates scientifically to your vitamin K and also your iron, which kale and spinach and all of these vegetables, and he correlates that to breathing.
Right.
And so we can retain it scientifically, but as for a spiritualist, like this is what he's mandated.
Right.
So for a kid to understand that he needs to eat his vegetables, it has to be more than a ritual. Just eat your vegetables.
Right.
No, eat your vegetables because it contains
right.
nutrients that will help. And if we do that and we catch a kid where cognitively he's able to retain the information. So we catch him at an early age when he's learning 1, 2, 3s
Right.
and how to appropriate that to math. He's learning ABCs and how to appropriate that to reading. He also should understand that I should be eating vegetables,
Right.
and not just vegetables, specifics to his family history. So if my family has a history of being anemic or blood-related diseases, then I need to increase and make sure that I'm eating that vitamin K so it sets me up, to be able to fight these ailments once they come.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
And then just to kind of switch it a little bit
Hmm.
for the program, because you also do things I know for children, adults, and even
Right.
seniors.
Hmm.
So, and you have the after-school programs, you have the
Yes.
after-work program.
Yes.
What classes? Because I know there's classes that you do with each age group. So
Right.
how does that all work out?
Well, the after-school program, we've partnered with Arrow Academy, the Odyssey Preparatory School, and they're K through 8, and we'll be running Sports Achieve, which is the after-school program. In fact, we're registering right now. What we do, each kid, we get their height, we get their weight at the beginning of the program. We use sports as a vehicle. Most kids, whether they can play or whether they can't play, they usually like sports.
Right.
And so we utilize the sports in order to give them incentive to get better in the sport, but then we also give them nutrition. I'm able to assess and give insight on postural deviations that I may see. Each kid, I have all of their family history as far as diseases that are hereditary within their family, so I'm able to talk to them one-on-one
Okay.
about, hey, this is what you should start doing now
Right.
in order to alleviate having these diseases. And so that's going to be Monday through Friday
Okay.
from 4 to 6. And you can go onto my website and register. And then also we, every Thursday morning at 10 a.m.,
Okay.
we do the Red Diamond. And this is a seniors group. We have like about 100 to 150 seniors, and man, seniors are fun. They're like the funnest group, and I reference them because for me, we're his most important natural resource. We talk of oil, we talk of diamonds, and we talk of all of the natural resources, but where it says that we're his greatest creation.
Right.
And so as we mature, which are your diamonds, your seniors group, we get more wisdom.
Yes.
Knowledge is cool. We can read a book and get knowledge,
Right.
but wisdom you have to experience. And so they have the most experiences, and they're combating most of these ailments. Now, over 50% are on high blood pressure medicine, and another 50% are diabetic or have been diagnosed with being borderline diabetic. So they're fighting this right now. And so it's imperative that they give the information to the kids. So there has to be that link. So grandma, like the kid won't listen to mom all the time or dad,
Right.
but they'll listen to grandma.
Oh yeah,
you know.
grandma's always.
And so it's important that we give insight to the whole family,
Right.
as opposed to just one group or one demographic getting it, and then it's like it makes the bloodline stagnant. And so we want to induce long life. So
Be able to spread that out.
yeah.
Okay. So is it now they are separate, or are they, like, I guess, is there a time where they are combined? Because I know you said.
Well, we do festivals.
Okay.
And so at a festival or an event, we pull it together, and the next festival will be this fall.
Okay.
And we pull them all together, but more so separately. The faith and fitness class also that is done downtown, and this is at 2019 Crawford, from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. is more of your adults.
Okay.
And so it's a little bit more up tempo.
Right.
Sometimes we bring in a
Happy
Zumba
hour.
instructor. Yeah, exactly.
The
A happy hour.
I saw that. That's very nice.
Yeah. And so that way I'm able to reach. And then, of course, I do personal training and as well. So
That's good. So, okay, the personal training, because I saw you have individual, then you have small groups, large
Right.
groups. So is that something, are there other personal trainers with you as well that coach with people, or,
Well, I conduct the group classes up until 30.
Okay.
And then past that, I'll bring in independent contractors to come in and help, especially when we do events. So I'll
Right.
bring other people in as far as it. But for the most part, you get me. The philosophy is different. Most trainers, most trainers are physically oriented. I'm more spiritually oriented. So I'm more concerned with your thought process towards your ailment, your thought process towards nutrition, your thought process towards, as opposed to the actual application.
Right.
Now, once you have the understanding of the components, then we go ahead on into the action,
To
the
the
action
actual.
portion. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's now, okay, for physical or personal training, what would you say is a good, like, what can people expect from you? Because I know you said
Yeah.
you get spiritually more spiritual, but,
Yeah.
going in, because some people in their mindset, they're kind of reluctant
Yeah.
wanting to go into personal training.
Yeah.
So what would you say?
Well, it depends on what you're going into it for. For
Right.
me, it's a platform that he's allowed for me to tell people, to give them the information that he's given to me. A lot of trainers go into it for money. A lot of trainers go into it for power. And so it depends on your intent. Everything just goes back into your heart. So for me, I'm going to essentially love you into getting in shape. So I'll meet you wherever you are. If I got an athlete, hey,
Yeah.
we going full blast. But then I have, I've trained, the oldest client I've had, 78 years old.
Wow.
Ernestine McBride. And so she's coming off a hip replacement surgery. She's got gout. She's got this long history. And really what I could give her is thought. But through her thought, it manifested into her getting into
Right.
better shape, because whatever happens spiritually comes into the physical realm. Like, so spiritually what you think should be biblical, but then every movement of the body comes from your central nervous system. You know, it comes from your brain that sends the message to your spinal cord, it sends the message to the different systems
Right.
of the body. So if you can get that brain to think rightly or righteously towards exercise, then it would eventually manifest into some type of physical workout.
Last thing, the Dress for Success.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
Yes.
please
Yes.
tell us, because I know that's something you're doing globally, and we spoke about it briefly.
Yes,
So
yes, yes,
please
yes.
tell us about that. I know it's September 29th
Yes.
is the date. Okay.
September 29th through September 29th through October 3rd, we'll be in Bayelsa State, Nigeria, conducting a global workshop on wellness and education.
Okay.
I mean, nothing but him, how it fell into my lap. We're partnered with Tailored Hearts, which is a local group of designers that have been doing this for the past few years. Last year they were in the Dominican Republic, and so this year they got the call to Africa, and they wanted to implement wellness. And so I go, yes, the curriculum, Sports for Achieving Wellness, I had just completed the curriculum, so it was like perfect timing. And so we'll be going there, and the same scope. We're taking health and wellness and plugging it into their community issues, which happen to be, there's a clinic on site, and it's about 250 kids that'll be their ages 11 to 16. And so they're fighting malaria, upper respiratory tract infections, and then STDs. And so we'll be giving them insight on, of course, nutrition from malaria to fortify the blood. Again, as far as the breathing, understanding the components of breathing. Just a simple, when he breathed the breath of life, he breathed it into our nostrils.
Right.
Is it will give you the information to know that once an attack comes, okay, I should be breathing in through my nose and out through my mouth. And then science reinforces that same. So we have the spiritual, which is the word, and then we have science reinforcing with the respiratory system, and that understanding helps to alleviate that that asthma attack.
Right.
Yeah, you may have an asthmatic condition or be in an asthmatic state, chest gets heavy, but until you panic, fear is the only way that it can become an attack. And so so we
So it's teaching them to keep calm.
keep calm. You control your heart rate with your breathing.
Right.
Yeah, breathing controls basically every. Stop breathing.
Right. I want to be here.
Right,
outside.
exactly.
So how can people donate if they want, or if they want to join you
Yes.
on this? How
Yes.
can they do that?
paulqueen.org, paulqueen.org, or you can go to tailoredhearts.com. I'm sorry, tailoredhearts.org, and the information is there. You can donate direct. We do also have a donation hub here in Houston, and we like to give thanks to Pastor Wilford Darden. Pastor Wilford Darden in Fifth Ward. It's 2600 Chew Street. And it's 77020. You can drop off packets there, or if you contact us, we'll give you the information direct, so you can send it over to Africa direct. So we're definitely looking for health-oriented organizations and individuals that see this as a purpose and a cause to come out. We don't want to go over there empty-handed. They just built a new workout facility.
Okay.
And their favorite sports are soccer and basketball. So I at least want to go through there with bring some basketballs and some soccer balls, and then we're going to run some speed and agility drills. So we'll have a lot of fun.
Right. Have a whole workout assembly and everything.
Yes. In fact, Sports for Achieving Wellness is a featured workshop.
Okay.
Throughout the whole event, and so we'll be able to give them the information and also leave them with a curriculum.
Okay.
So it's templated, so they get the information. If I'm not there, we'll film it. They can pop in the DVD and exercise all year long.
And be able to do that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that information, and thank you for joining us today. Please go on the website, paulqueen.org. Yes, thank you. And then also, if you are interested, be sure to donate. He also has a donation page on the website that you can go to as well. There is a beautiful me. I'm Crystal, and once again, if you would like to see other past episodes, go to my website at proverbsbeauty.com, or if you'd like to be on the show or want to know more about how you can close out the show, you can also email me at proverbsbeauty31@gmail.com, and then also follow me on Instagram and Twitter at prov31beautiful, so PROV 31 beautiful. There is a beautiful me and you. You are God's beauty inside and out.
I'm Paul Queen of Quality Wellness. We take wellness and we plug it into community issues. We plug it into obesity. We plug it into diabetes. We plug it into high blood pressure. Any health-related, community-oriented disease, we take fitness and plug it too. We're wanting to renew the mind of Houston through corporate entities and dealing with corporate structures, through school districts, through Houston Parks and Recreation System. Quality Wellness. I'm your wellness consultant. Healthy Houston, this is Paul Queen with Quality Wellness. I'm here to talk to you about faith and fitness. Faith and Fitness is a Bible's guide for believers on health and fitness. What it's geared to do is to renew the mind towards nutrition and exercise. We retain what we know and that we can receive cognitively in science, but that shouldn't supersede the spirit. Everything that comes and manifests into this realm, it comes from a spiritual place. So there's a spiritual way of thinking towards water. There's a spiritual way of thinking towards nutrition. Leave it up to me. I have Bible scriptures that will back, Bible scriptures that will support each entity, each component of faith and fitness. There are 8 essential components of faith and fitness: water, nutrition, physical activity, cardiovascular exercise, your posture, your core, vitamins and supplements as well, and your breathing pattern. So if our belief matches what we know cognitively, we manifest our own healing. Faith and Fitness. Every Thursday, 6:30 p.m. downtown, 2019 Crawford, and also at 10 a.m. with the Red Diamonds at 8787 North Houston Roslyn, North and South locations. Come and see me. Healthy Houston, this is Paul Queen, and we're here at Faith and Fitness. Faith and Fitness is a believer's guide to physical fitness. It's all Bible-based. We start off with cognitively what you can retain from the Word, and then we plug it into fitness.
And whenever you're training, I'm still kind of too saying, biomechanically, whether you're marching in place or whether you're sprinting, biomechanically, you're still moving the same body parts. What we do is we focus on getting that adrenaline, getting that blood flowing. Both of that blood is rushing to the abdominal area because that's the area of emphasis that we're working on. We allow for that heart rate to go all the way back down. So by breathing in through that nose, out through your mouth. Word says that when God breathed the breath of life, He breathed it into our nostrils. So what Sharon is getting is a full body workout. She's working cardio when she does as far as the initial part, as far as the kicks, but then she's also working her legs, and then she goes right into push-ups, which is going to work her arms and her upper body. Ready? And 20. 19.
Where we pump the heart rate up really, really fast, and then we focus on a specific body part. So she worked full body. Initially, she went from the legs, then she went to the core, then she went upper body. And so what we do by getting that heart rate, getting your cardio involved, it allows for the blood to flow to whatever specific area that you're working a lot faster, giving you an optimal workout, and it gets you there really, really quick. Hi, I'm Paul Queen with Sports for Achieving Wellness, where we take sports and use them as a vehicle for healthy living. We partner with Odyssey Preparatory School and Arrow Academy, and we're conducting a wellness study. In this wellness study, each participant will get their height, will get their weight, they'll get a complete fitness assessment. After that fitness assessment, we'll be able to rehab them, rehabilitate them, teach them speed, agility, and plug it into specific sports. Soccer, golf, basketball, baseball. All of it stems from athletics.
Working as a team and not so much focusing on myself as an individual, they gave me an opportunity.
Athleticism is a gift from God. You owe it to them to work hard, to eat right, to plug sports for your achievement and wellness. Hi, I'm Paul Queen with Sports for Achieving Wellness, where we take sports and use them as a vehicle for healthy living. Educational budget cuts and standardized testing foci are diminishing physical education and physical activity in our nation's school system. And although obesity rates are decreasing, the way we think towards nutrition and the way we think toward exercise has not changed. Think of a kid in a wheelchair who can't run, who can't walk. Think of kids that wish that they can play and jump, and adults as well. You owe it to them to plug sports for your achieving your wellness. AM at 8787 North Houston Roslyn, North and South locations. Come and see me.